Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw video results, tribute to the troops, and WWE main event results. December the 9th, 10th, and 11th birthdays. Stephen Dunn, December the 9th. He was born 1960. Kurt Angle, 1968. Essa Rios. He's the guy that Lita actually came in and was with WWE. She was managing him. Now, his birthday was December 10th. Also, JTG, formerly of Crime Time. He was born 1984, December 10th. December the 11th, Rey Mysterio Jr. He was born 1974. And rounding out the final one, James Ellsworth. He was born 1984. John Cena recently spoke to Digital Spy about his new animated movie, Ferdinand. During the interview, Cena discussed starring in the upcoming Transformers spin-off movie called Bumblebee. Cena is rumored to play the lead role in the film of an agent of the secret government operation, Sector 7. Cena also said that the film, which releases on December 21st, 2018, is a wonderful reboot of the franchise and shed a little light on his role. And he's quoted by saying, "It's a bit of a different role," Cena said. "I don't want to confirm a Cena heel turn because it's not a full-blown deal like that. It's dang sure close." It was awesome to be involved with that franchise and a pleasure to be asked to be part of the movie, but I took the part because it was a challenge for me. Cena added, "It's something that I haven't been able to showcase and that I wanted to," unquote. And it looks like WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar may be joining the Rocky movie franchise. Sylvester Stallone tweeted the following teaser on Monday. "Big challenges come in all shapes and forms. By the way, this is just for entertainment. Drago's son will be played by new, unknown Brock Lesnar, Rocky Balboa 1976. The Von Erich brothers, Ross and Marshall, will make their UK debuts and defend their IWR Tag Team Championships at Super Clash on February 18, 2018 at the Cheltenham Town Hall in Cheltenham, England. The side event will feature Too Cold Scorpio battling Kendo Kashin. And you can get more details at this link, which is imperialwrestlingrevolution.com/live-events.html. And there's a video of it as well. Post both links. On Monday's edition of Wrestling Inc. podcast, Matt Morgan revealed that to Raj Guri that Glenn Rubenstein at WWE at one time considered making him Kane's brother. When Morgan was a part of WWE's developmental territory, OVW, officials suggested that he start wearing a mask to improve his character. As one of the top babyfaces in OVW, so Morgan was understandably confused. "They put a mask on me. First they said because it was going to improve my body language." "What? Anyways, you shut up and do what you're told." "So I went to wrestling practice with a hood and a mask. And then I'd be on TV with a mask," as Morgan explained. And he quotes, "So Jim Cornette was like, 'How the hell do I explain this? You're the top babyface. You're the champion. What do I do?' So I lost the loser leaves town match, come back as the Blueprint. I wear a hood, and I'm not Matt Morgan anymore. I'm just the Blueprint," unquote. Unbeknownst to Morgan, the company was grooming him for a high-profile storyline that would have seen him start a program with Kane. Morgan said that he would have loved to work with Kane because he was a huge fan of him and The Undertaker. He's quoted by saying that the cool part was that they were going to turn this into "I was going to be Kane's brother, Abel," Morgan said. "And I would have killed for that. I would have worn a hood gladly for that just because I'm a huge Taker and Kane fan. What leads to Kane to Taker? What leads to Kane leads to Taker, right? 9-year-old Matt Morgan inside was going bananas, unquote. Since the Undertaker and Kane are brothers, it is highly likely that Morgan's storyline would have eventually led him to work with the dead man. The WWE completely nixed the plans for Kane to have another brother, as the only storyline that came close to that was the Imposter Kane angle featuring Luke Gallows that never went anywhere. Morgan said that the decision not to go through with the storyline came straight from the top of the company, and that was Vince McMahon himself. And Vince McMahon stepped in and came up with the stuttering Matt Morgan. And he said, and now you know the rest of the story. Matt Morgan and Glenn Rubenstein discussed their TV watching habits and revealed that it was almost cast on a popular show. And can be found at that link. The guys discussed how hard it is to continue watching 3 hours of Raw every Monday when there are so many TV shows out there. Morgan said he's not caught up on the current seasons because he mainly watches TV on his Amazon Fire Stick. He wasn't even aware that the popular HBO show Curb Your Enthusiasm has returned for a 9th season after a lengthy hiatus. Geary said that the show and The Walking Dead are the only shows he watches. And Morgan revealed that he was once in the running for the role of Sergeant Abraham Ford on The Walking Dead. I auditioned for the part, and I was all but told that it was mine. So I got bitchy about it and refused to watch it. The show because I didn't get it, Morgan said with a laugh. I was at my brother's house in Boston, supposed to be there for the holidays. I didn't pay attention to anybody because I was supposed to be memorizing my script, and then the last second, they pulled the carpet out from underneath me. And the role eventually was given to Michael Kudlitz, ending Morgan's interest in watching the show, but Gary assured him that he's not missing much as the season of Walking Dead has somewhat lackluster, in his opinion. And that was the end of that. Previously posted a video of WWE Hall of Famer Sting teaming up with a fan to deliver a prank on the recent WWE-themed episode. Walk the prank at this link on Disney XD. And it's also a behind-the-scenes video from the favorite wrestler, Prank with the Stinger. WWE is bringing back the ship setting for the tribute to the troops tapings at Naval Base San Diego. Matches for the 15th annual tribute to the troops were taped at the USS Dewey. The WWE is also filming at various events in and around the base, which will be airing a 2-hour special on Thursday, December 14th. Unfortunately, I just got the news last night, and this is also the day I'm doing my Monday Night Raw results for that as well. And there's photos from the events, including a shot and ring photo, which I'll post the links on this and what have you on Instagram. Major Raleigh, WE, and Instagram.com. Explore locations. 32nd Naval Base. Preparing for hashtag Troops15 at U.S. Navy Base San Diego. Thank you for all your service. This show is for you. At Depth of Defense, and also this link as well on Twitter. December the 6th, and here's the results. Shield defeated Samoa Joe and Raw Tag Team Champions The Bar. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte defeated Ruby Riott. The New Day and SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Usos defeated Rusev, Aiden English, Chad Gable, and Shelton Benjamin. Paige, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose defeated Mickie James, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton, and WWE Champion AJ Styles defeated Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. JBL Mark Henry, Hall of Famer Sergeant Slaughter, and WWE Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat were all in attendance, as was also Vince McMahon and Triple H. JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton did commentaries for the show. Machine Gun Kelly performed a few songs. And that was it for the show. WWE taped the following matches Monday for main event episode. Unknown when that show comes on anymore. Rhino versus Kurt Hawkins and Graham Metallic. And Akira Tozawa versus Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. Rhino defeated Kurt Hawkins. Graham Metallic and Akira Tozawa defeated Gallagher and Kendrick. Raw opened up with a video package on Samoa Joe versus Intercontinental Champion Roman Reigns, plus a feud between Raw Tag Team Champions, The Bar, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. Live from Cleveland, and Michael Coleslaw welcomes us to the WWE Week on the USA Network. He's joined in by Corey Graves and WWE Hall of Famer, five-time WCW Champion, Hall of Famer Booker T. They announced the matches. Dean Ambrose versus Samoa Joe. Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. And Roman Reigns versus Cesaro with the Intercontinental title on the line for us. Braun Strowman versus Kane, which advertised as main event, with the winner facing WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. We go right to the ring. We got Samoa Joe having a mic. Joe talks about the Shield and how he's not impressed with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, or Dean Ambrose, mentioning he's got the upper hand on all three of them since coming to Raw. Joe says he will deal with Ambrose later on, but he's here right now to finish what he started with Reigns. Joe warns Reigns not to bring out his two lapdogs. He only wants Reigns. Joe awaits as we see Rollins and Ambrose backstage watching. Rollins tells Ambrose to go get Reigns. Joe continues talking trash in the ring. Joe rants for a minute or two until we see Reigns appear backstage. He tells Rollins and Ambrose that he's got this, then starts marching to the ring. Reigns' music hits and out he comes. The brawl starts as Raw Tag Team Champions The Bar try to ambush Reigns. Rollins and Ambrose run down the ramp, but The Bar meets them for a fight. Joe looks to put Reigns to sleep in the ring, but Reigns fights back. Rollins and Sheamus bring the fight to the ring next. Cesaro and Sheamus and Joe beat down Reigns Rollins, while Ambrose is still down on the outside. The Bar then spikes Rollins to the mat with a double team move. Ambrose hits the ring, but they beat him down. Joe Uranagi and Joe and The Bar stand tall over the pile of bodies as the fans boo. Joe's music hits as they leave while the Shield tries to recover, and we go to commercial. Back from the break, announcers go over what just happened to the Shield. And yes, I did watch part of the show this week and fell asleep towards the end of it. So, Dirt Sheet says how I'm giving you your news. Well, Bayley and Mickie James versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. We go to the ring. Out comes Bayley with Mickie. Bayley and Mickie with Sasha Banks. We see footage of Sasha's history-making match with Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss in Abu Dhabi last week. Absolution was out next as Sonya Deville accompanies Mandy Rose and Paige to the ring. Paige takes a mic and brags on squashing a boss for her return match last week. She says the Absolution train is about to run through two more former champions. Rose comments on how they will continue purging the women's division. Sonya takes a mic and mocks Mickie and Bayley, telling them to put their hair up and square up. Sonya says Absolution is a symphony of carnage and the music is about to start. Paige says that the Absolution's future and the ring is her house. Absolution heads to the ring as Banks, Bayley, and Mickie looks on. Bayley starts off with Mandy as they go at it. Paige tags in and kicks Bayley before working on her. Bayley takes her to the corner and tags in Mickie. They try for a double team, but Mandy makes a save. They take Mandy out. Paige yells at ringside, and she and Mandy go for a breather. Bayley comes off the apron, and it looks as if Paige puts Mandy in the way. Mickie comes flying next as Absolution is in trouble, going into a commercial break. Back from the break. Bailey goes to work on Mandy for a 2 count. Mandy turns it around with a big knee to the face for another pin attempt. Paige tags in and unloads on Bailey with knees from the apron. Paige with more offense and a pin attempt. Paige drops Bailey with a headbutt and then nails Mickey with a cheap shot. Absolution keeps control before Paige drops Bailey with a running knee for another 2 count. Mickey tries to rally the crowd up for Bailey now. As she's on the ring apron, Bailey finally turns it around and drops Paige on her face. Bailey crawls for a tag, but Paige pulls her back. Mandy and Mickey finally tag in at the same time. Mickey unloads on Mandy and then drops her with kicks and a flying forearm. Mandy blocks Mickey going into the corner, but Mickey catches her and drops her on her face. Mickey kips up. Sonya gets on the apron, but Mickey knocks her off. Mickey goes up top and hits the Does press, but Paige breaks up the pinfall at 2. Bailey runs in and backs Paige in the corner, then unloads to beat her down. Referee backs Bailey out of the ring. Mickey goes for her DDT on Mandy, but Paige kicks Mickey while the referee has his back turned. Mandy takes advantage and covers her for the win. Winner of the match, Mandy Rose and Paige. After the match, Paige and Mandy exit the ring to join Sonya and to celebrate. Sasha and Bailey checking on Mickey in the ring as Paige's music plays. Announcers plug Sunday's Clash of Champions pay-per-view in Boston. A SmackDown exclusive event. Still to come segment. Kane versus Strowman to determine Brock Lesnar's Royal Rumble opponent. Graphics flash and Bray Wyatt appears on the big screen. Wyatt says he's here and blows out the lantern. We're here. Mandy appears next, interrupting the video. And he says, he's woken. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and Bray Wyatt appears, commenting on how it's always been good versus evil. Matt Hardy appears next and comments on the Great War. Wyatt appears next and says Matt is woken, but he has been waiting on him, like the yin to his yang. Matt appears next and this continues for a minute or two. Matt comments on Sister Abigail and Wyatt warns him that only one of them can survive. Matt says he shall delete, and Wyatt laughs at him. Matt laughs back. Wyatt laughs some more. Matt laughs back. Wyatt keeps laughing. Matt laughs back, and that's it. Colesaw says Matt is clearly out of his mind, and Graves says he's just woken. And we see WWE Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore giving a pep talk to the Zoe Train on last week's Raw. Then turning around to see Nia Jax flirting with him. We go back to backstage now, and Enzo talking to his title. Drew Gulak appears in a suit. Gulak says WWE has revoked Rich Swann's opportunity. He did not mention Swann's arrest and suspension from the weekend, but that is why his shot has been nixed. There will be a second chance match later on, and the winner goes on to face Drew Gulak next week. Winner of that match will face Enzo for the title. Enzo rants and accidentally mentions Nia's name. Gulak believes Enzo just said her name because he wants Gulak to be ready for any kind of opponent, even someone like Jax. Enzo plays along and Gulak leaves all smiles. Then we get Finn Balor versus Curtis Axel. We go to the ring, out comes Finn Balor to a pop, and we go to commercial. Back for the break, out comes Curtis Axel with Bo Dallas. And we get ready for the bell, but the Mr. attacks Balor and beats him down with a double team. Referee checks on Balor, but he says he's alright, and then we get the bell. Axel immediately charges in the corner and goes right to work on Balor. Axel with a 2 count, and then Axel manhandles Balor and hit a bit and slams him to the mat to keep him grounded. Balor makes a comeback after Axel misses in a corner with a strike. Balor with a big chop and a sling blade. Balor then charges and drop kicks Axel into the corner, but Dallas has second thoughts and doesn't interfere. Balor goes to the top and hits a big coup de grace for the pinfall. After the match, Balor stands tall as the music hits. Balor then leaves and talks some trash as Dallas checks on Axel in the ring, still wearing his neck brace. Still to come segment, the Architect versus the Celtic Warrior. with the other competitors banned from ringside. Back to commercial. Back for the break, we'll announce the plug the 15th annual tribute to the troops, airing Thursday night. Kane appears on the big screen and sends a warning to Braun Strowman for tonight's match. Kane comments on advancing to compete with Brock Lesnar for the first time and says he will become the new WWE Universal Champion at the Royal Rumble. I did not see that segment. I think I took a bathroom break or a drink break. Kane appears on the big screen and sends a warning to Braun Strowman for tonight's match. Kane comments on advancing to compete with Brock Lesnar for the first time and says he will become the new WWE Universal Champion at Royal Rumble. Next match, we get Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. We go to ring out. First comes Seth Rollins, Raw Tag Team Champion, Sheamus without Nick. Both superstars are out alone, as the others are banned from ringside for tonight's matches with The Shield, Samoa Joe, and The Bar. Bo talks some trash before the bell. Rollins unloads in the corner as the bell hits. Sheamus fights out and catches Rollins in a tilt-the-world backbreaker, but Rollins lands on his feet. Rollins then sends Sheamus out to the floor and nails a suicide dive as the fans pop. Rollins then launches a stunned Sheamus into the barrier next. Rollins with a face-first shot into the apron as the referee counts. Rollins rolls Sheamus back in the ring, but Sheamus floors him with an axe handle. Sheamus drops Rollins with a clothesline, and Sheamus keeps control and drops Rollins over his knee for a backbreaker, but Rollins kicks out at 2 count. Sheamus slams Rollins' head into the turnbuckle and keeps control. Sheamus unloads with kicks in the corner, focusing on the knee. Sheamus stands tall and poses to boost. Sheamus misses a kick in the corner, and Rollins kicks him in the back of the head. Enziguri style. Rollins favors the leg that Sheamus was working on, but is able to make a comeback. Rollins delivers a sling blade and then a blockbuster. Rollins knocks Sheamus over the top rope, stands tall to a pop. Rollins then launches himself over the top, but Sheamus moves and Rollins quickly recovers. Sheamus meets Rollins with a knee and ends up knocking him from the apron to the floor. Rollins as hard as we go back to a commercial. Back from the break, Sheamus is in control, getting the stretch muffler submission. Sheamus eventually gets the cloverleaf applied. Rollins tries to get to the ropes, but Sheamus cuts him off. Rollins rolls Sheamus up for a 2 count. Sheamus goes for Rollins, but it's countered. Rollins drops Sheamus with a DDT for a close 2 count. Rollins more offense and another 2 count. Rollins super kicks Sheamus in the jaw for another pin attempt. Sheamus ends up dropping Rollins' leg first in the corner. Rollins climbs up top, but Sheamus sends him to the mat. Rollins runs back up and nails a big superplex. Rollins keeps it hooked and hits a Falcon Arrow. Rollins crawls over for a cover, but Sheamus kicks out. Just in time. Sheamus blocks the spin out knee, but Rollins counters again. Sheamus hits a rolling senton. Sheamus ends up missing a brogue kick, and Rollins hits a super kick and a big knee for the win. After the match, Rollins recovers as his music hits. We go to replays. Rollins standing tall and celebrates as we get Dean Ambrose back. We see Dean Ambrose still backstage. Renee Young asks him about tonight's match with Samoa Joe and asks if his strategy has changed after what happened earlier. Ambrose rants and says he's heated, ready to get his hands on Joe. He thanks Renee for the pep talk and walks off. Don't forget, they got married just recently. Still to come segment, Ambrose versus Joe. And Cesaro versus Reigns. Also, Nice versus DeBerry versus Alexander versus Ali in a second chance match. Bad commercial. Second chance fatal 4-way. Tony Nese versus Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander versus Arian Berry. My prediction, I was going to go with Cedric Alexander, the token black guy, and he actually won. As yet, most of the other guys are with Enzo Amore and his douchebag crew. Back from the break, Drew Gulak was out for commentary. Cedric Alexander was out first, followed by Tony Nese. Mustafa Ali was out next, and Arian Berry was last. Winner of this match will face Gulak on next week's Raw to crown the new #1 contender. Bell rings and they all go to work on each other. Lots of back and forth after the start. DeBerry ends up getting a close 2 count on Cedric after taking the others out on the floor. DeBerry tosses Cedric to the apron, but Cedric fights back in and drops him for a close 2 count. And Nice breaks up the pin. Nice launches Cedric face first into the turnbuckles, and as he lands hard, Ali comes in to fight Nice, but Nice gets the upper hand. Nice fights Cedric off again. DeBerry takes out Nice, but Cedric drops him. Ali gets back in the mix and hits Cedric with a big DDT. We go to commercial with everyone down. Back from the break, we see how Ali countered a super power bomb from Cedric during the commercial. DeBerry has control of Ali in the middle of the ring now. Ali fights back, but DeBerry nails a spinebuster for a 2 count. DeBerry keeps Ali grounded on the mat now and talks some trash. Ali fights back, but DeBerry shuts him down. DeBerry runs into a kick from the apron. Ali runs in and plants DeBerry face first into the mat for a 2 count. Nice comes back in and decks Ali. They go at it, and Nice gets dropped. Ali fights DeBerry off, but Nice hits a big right hand on Ali, bringing him down from the top rope. Nice goes for a super backdrop, but Ali pushes him off into the mat. Ali climbs up for the inverted 450 and nails it on Nice. Cedric breaks up the pin. Cedric and Ali trade shots in the middle of the ring. Ali nails a big elbow. Cedric counters with a big fetish sply and a lumbar check but DeBerry tried to steal the pin after tossing Cedric to the floor. Cedric saves the match and pulls DeBerry to the floor. They go at it. Nice leaps out and nails DeBerry and Cedric at the same time. Nice ends up exposing his knee and nailing a big running shot to Cedric in the corner. Ali breaks up Nice's pin attempt. DeBerry and Nice double team Ali in the ring after taking Cedric out. Then Ali drops Nice over the top. Cedric drops Ali. DeBerry rolls Cedric up for a close 2 count. And this is your chain finishers and counters and what have you. Set up for the finish. Cedric ducks DeBerry and drops him with a kick. Cedric kicks Nice off the apron. And Cedric nails a lumbar check on DeBerry for the pinfall. Well, like I said, Cedric Alexander wins the match and advances to the finals. So Cedric celebrates as his music starts up. Cedric versus Glock will now take place next week to determine the next challenger for the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Enzo Amore. We go to replays. Charlie Caruso enters the ring for post-match comments. Asking Cedric a question. Then Cedric comments back. Cedric says this was his second chance and he plans on taking full advantage of it. Cedric says net is Drew Gulak, who we see looking on from the announce table as he was on commentary during the match. Cedric says he will then face Enzo Amore and go on to become the new Cruiserweight Champion. Gulak isn't worried. Still to come segment. Roman Reigns defends his Intercontinental title, and we go back to commercial. Back from the great break, and Gulak is with Enzo backstage. Gulak says we now know it's him versus Cedric next week, and he will go on from there to become the new champion. Enzo asks him what he's thinking. Gulak calls it just some friendly trash talking. Enzo says they're not friendly. Gulak just works for him on the Zo train, and he is lucky to be a passenger on it. Enzo says Gulak wins one match and now they're equals? No way. Enzo goes on and calls Gulak's PowerPoint presentation soft. I didn't see that segment, so I wonder if it's S-A-W-F-T. But Gulak interrupted him and suggests informative instead. Enzo tells Gulak to get out of here as he approaches Nia Jax and asks how she's doing. She's doing really good and is glad to see Enzo, so she says, and also said hi to Gulak and says she likes his presentations. Enzo agrees and says he was just talking about how they were informative. Nia tells Enzo they should talk. sometime when he's not busy. Nia walks away and Enzo is all smiles. Intercontinental title match was up next. Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. We go to the ring. Out first comes Raw Tag Team Champion Cesaro with Intercontinental Champion Roman Reigns out next. We get formal ring introduction from JoJo. The bell rings and they both go at it. Reigns sends Cesaro out first and he follows. Cesaro tags back in and stomps away on Reigns as he re-enters the ring. Cesaro with big uppercuts, the uppercut train, and Reigns runs the ropes and nails a big clothesline, followed by another big shot. Reigns goes on and drops Cesaro again. Reigns with big blows in the corner again, and the fans count along. Cesaro grabs the arm and slams it over the top rope. Cesaro comes back in, but Reigns drops him with the right hand. Reigns sends Cesaro back over the top rope. Reigns favors his right arm, while Cesaro goes down on the floor. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we get Cesaro having Reigns grounded. We see how Cesaro kicked Reigns out of the air during the commercial break as Reigns was going for a drive-by. Then sent him arm first into a barrier. Cesaro focuses on the arm while keeping Reigns grounded in the ring. Cesaro then goes on and covers for a 2 count. Cesaro with another submission on the arm now. They trade holds and pin attempts. Cesaro gets back to his unloading on the arm as Reigns yells in pain. Cesaro with an arm bar now, and the referee checks on Reigns. Reigns looks for the rope, but Cesaro drags him back in the middle of the ring, and he keeps working on the arm. Reigns finally fights up and out of the hold, dropping Cesaro to the mat with a backdrop. Reigns with a headbutt and a right hand to drop Cesaro on the bottom rope. Reigns leaves the ring and runs around for another drive-by attempt. Reigns returns to the ring and keeps control, but he's slow moving. Reigns calls for a Superman punch, but Cesaro nails him in midair. Cesaro then drops Reigns into another armbar, switching that into a crossface. Reigns ends up dropping Cesaro with a small drop for a close 2 count. Reigns is slow to get up in the corner. Cesaro charges with a big uppercut in the corner and ends up setting Reigns' shoulder first into a steel ring post. Reigns falls out to the floor. Cesaro charges on the floor, but Reigns gets his boot up. Reigns drops Cesaro with a right hand to the jaw. Reigns brings it back in the ring and crawls over for a close 2 count. Reigns gets up first and waits for Cesaro. Cesaro blocks the spear with a kick. Cesaro goes on and covers for every close 2 count after slamming Reigns in as the crowd pops. Cesaro transitions into another crossface submission. Reigns powers up with Cesaro on his back. Cesaro counters with a sunset flip and goes for the Cesaro swing. Reigns counters that, but rolls Cesaro up, turning that into a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count. Fan chant, "This is awesome," as both superstars are down now. They trade shots from their knees and they try to get up. Referee gets in between them and Cesaro takes advantage of the distraction with a roll up for a close 2 count. Cesaro then argues with the referee and waits for Reigns to get up. Cesaro with many uppercuts in the corner. Reigns wars him. Cesaro with more uppercuts. Cesaro goes for the Gotch neutralizer in the middle of the ring, but Reigns backdrops him. Reigns does a spear for the win, as Roman Reigns retains his Intercontinental title. After the match, Reigns stands tall with the title to go to replays. Reigns then raises the title as his music hits. Backstage to Braun Strowman. He has words for Kane and says he will be the one to take the title from Lesnar at Royal Rumble. So the cup segment, we'll also get Kane versus Strowman. Also, Alicia Fox will get another shot at Asuka. Back to commercial. That match I did not see. Well, here's her dirt sheet results. After a commercial break, Asuka waits for Alicia Fox, but Absolution's Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville come out instead. Paige takes a mic and mocks Asuka and says they walk to the ring. Paige warns Asuka and says either she can get out of the way or they will move her out of the way. They surround her from the apron and taunt her. Asuka charges and kicks Rose off the apron first. Deville comes in from behind and grabs her. Asuka fights back and in comes Paige. They go at it. Asuka drops Paige into an armbar. Rose and Deville attack her from behind and the numbers game catches up. Paige joins in and drops Asuka with a knee. Sasha Banks' music hits out and she comes with Bayley. Dana Brooke, Nia Jax, Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. Mickie James and Fox is also out. The women's division goes at it with Absolution. Paige and Nia tangle with Paige, avoiding a Samoa drop. They turn around and take turns on Rose. Paige and Sonya pull Rose to safety as Absolution retreats. Nia's music hits as the women's division stand tall in the ring. Kurt Angle shown backstage with Jason Jordan, his son, into his office. Jordan says he's sorry about last week and should not have came into Angle's office making demands, but he was just running off adrenaline following his match and his intensity got the best of him. Jordan says he will keep his cool this week, but seriously, how is Angle not booking him against Samoa Joe? Jordan says Joe has been running wild on Raw, and it's no wonder why Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon got on Angle's case last week. Angle goes on about being Jason Jordan's father, but also general manager of Raw. Angle says Jordan isn't the only superstar who has issues with Joe. Jordan says he's the only one that can beat Joe. Jordan says he's held his own against Kane, John Cena, and others. Angle says he held his own, but barely, and didn't win. Angle goes on and says Jordan will get his match with Joe when it's time. Jordan says, okay, Dad, but calls him Kurt instead. Angle looks a bit bothered. Dean Ambrose versus Samoa Joe. We go back to the ring. Out comes Dean Ambrose. Samoa Joe is out next. The bell rings and they prepare for the battle, but out comes Jason Jordan. Ambrose takes advantage of the distracted Joe and goes to work on him. Joe drops Ambrose and turns it around and watches Jordan from. As Jordan watches the match, Ambrose takes Joe's knees out and mounts him in the corner. Joe ends up going to the floor for a breather, but Ambrose follows and keeps the attack going. They bring him back into the ring, and Joe drops Ambrose in the corner. Ambrose ends up on the floor on his back. Joe recovers in the middle of the ring as we go to commercial. Back from the break, and Joe is in control. Jordan continues to watch from the ramp. Sitting on his steel chair, Joe fights back and goes for the running senton, but Ambrose moves out of the way. They get up and trade shots in the middle of the ring. Ambrose unloads, but Joe jabs him a few times. Joe rocks Ambrose, but he's still standing. Ambrose smacked Joe. Joe fired back with a forearm. Ambrose blocked the Uranagi, and they continue with the back and forth action. Ambrose with a few clotheslines and a running clothesline in the corner. Joe blocks a bulldog, but Ambrose finally drops him. Both men are down, and we see Jordan watching. Joe catches Ambrose with a big throw, then taunts Jordan. Then Jordan stands up and talks some trash as he walks towards the ring. Ambrose comes from behind while Joe is distracted. Ambrose with a knee to the back and a roll-up for a close 2 count. Joe goes for a power bomb on Ambrose, but Ambrose brings them both over the top rope. Tumbling to the floor, Jordan rolls Ambrose back into the ring. Joe comes from behind and drops Jordan on the floor with a coquina clutch. Ambrose dives out and nails them both. Ambrose brings Joe back into the ring and goes up to the top. Jordan gets on the apron and distracts Joe, allowing Ambrose to nail the big elbow from the top. Ambrose covers Joe, but the referee is still distracted by Jordan. Ambrose doesn't get the pin, and it's Jordan's fault. Ambrose isn't happy. Ambrose goes to the floor and gets in Jordan's face. Jordan grabs Ambrose for a suplex, but Joe comes flying through the ropes and takes them both down. Joe hits the senton to Jordan on the floor and rolls Ambrose back in. Joe with a coquina clutch on Ambrose in the middle of the ring, and Ambrose blacks out. Winner of the match, Samoa Joe. After the match, Joe stood tall as we get music playing. Joe leaves while Jordan and Ambrose still down. Dana Brooke backstage with Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. They're all excited about Dana joining Titus Worldwide as statistician, head of research and development. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson walk up and mock them, calling anyone who works at Titus Worldwide a nerd. Braun Strowman comes marching through and everyone scatters. We go to commercial. Number 1 contenders match, Kane versus Braun Strowman. Back from the break, we see crew members reinforcing the ring for tonight's main event. The announcers lead us to a video package on the Kane versus Braun feud. Gray shows us a tail of the tape. We go to the ring. Out first comes Braun Strowman. Winner of this match will face Universal Champion Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Braun hits the ring, and we go back to commercial. Back from the break, Cole saw plugging the rest of the WWE Week on the USA Network. Universal Champion Brock Lesnar is confirmed for next week's Raw in Providence, Rhode Island, along with Paul Heyman, of course, the Beast Advocate, waits in the ring. Now as Kane's music hits, and out he comes for the main event. Bell rings and Braun charges Kane back in the corner. Braun with shoulders to take Kane down in the corner. Braun keeps control and drops Kane back down with a headbutt in the corner. Braun runs and charges for a big corner splash. Braun then charges and nails a drop kick next. Braun with a pin attempt. We get a replay of the drop kick. They go to the corner and Braun sends Kane shoulder first until steering ring steps. Braun rolls Kane back to the ring, but Kane kicks him. As he tried to re-enter, Braun stares Kane down, causing him to back away. Braun attacked and fought Kane back into the corner. Braun runs and charges, but Kane sidesteps. Kane goes for a choke slam and nails it for a 2 count. Kane mounts Braun and works him over as we go to replay of the choke slam. Kane keeps control and waits for Braun to get back up. Kane goes for another choke slam and hits it in the middle of the ring. Kane with another close 2 count as Braun kicked out. Kane grabbed Braun by the throat again, but Braun countered and delivered a choke slam of his own. Kane kicked out at 2. We get a replay as Kane rolls out to the floor. Braun is on his back in the ring. Braun gets up as Kane tries to get a breather on the floor. Braun follows, but Kane decks him. Kane kicks Braun on the other side of the barrier into the crowd. Kane with a big right hand. Braun tackles Kane through the barrier, and they both are down at ringside. Referee counts, and the match ends in a double count out. After bell band, the fans boo as we get a replay of the barrier spot. Braun goes to get to his feet. Braun works over Kane at ringside as Kane tries to get to his feet. Braun takes apart and steals the ring steps, but Kane has half of the other set of steps. They face off with both steps in hand. They both charge and collide with the steps together. Kane goes down to his knees. Braun goes under the ring and tries to drive a cart into Kane's throat, but Kane fights him off. Braun drops Kane with a right hand. Braun rolls Kane back into the ring as fans chant for tables. Braun gets a pop as he brings the table in the ring. Kane grabs a steel chair and hits Braun first. Then goes for another chair shot, but Braun hits him with a right hand. Kane drops Braun with a chair and hits him over the back several times. Kane with shots to the throat as well. Kane goes down exhausted. They both get up and collide in the middle of the ring. Both men are down again, flat on their backs. Kane sits right up and looks over at Braun. Braun sits up, and they stare each other down again. Kane scoots back into the corner, but he can't believe Braun is back up. Braun charges, but Kane grabs him for a choke slam through the table. Braun resists. Braun scoop reins Kane and put him through the table with a big running power slam. Braun stands tall as his music hits. Graves wonders what this means for Lesnar and the Royal Rumble. Braun stands tall as Raw goes off the air. And that concludes my Raw Tribute to the Troops and main event results for this week. See one of you? If you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters.